Okay, so what's up? Hikeda here. I'm actually at Keeker's place, and that's why it looks different than my other video. So today's deck is a Bodil's Dagger deck, um, built around some new creatures that we got. Keeker actually pulled a Chromax, so I decided to make a deck around that. I've had a couple different decks with him in mind for a while, and a lot of them run off of the same ideas that I like to use in the game. So I didn't want to show my initial thought because it was very similar to my Queen of Nature deck. So this one is a straightforward Bodil's Dagger deck with Chromax in it, and yeah. I tested against two players. One was JMaster9, and the other one was Phantasmal, I think. Phantasmal was actually running a really cool deck that I enjoyed quite a bit. So yeah, let's check out the deck.
Ursis in the front line with a Bodil's Dagger right here. Chromax with a Evergreen Tunic. Ursis with another Bodil's Dagger. Hikeda with a Mepedian Balladeer's Flute. Tartarex Overloader with a Bronze Flight. Nadrin, Fluidmorpher's Foe with an Isaiah Mind Probe. Now Chromax online, I run with a Zerum Armor, but I don't have one offline. So Evergreen Tunic works pretty good. Gives you 20 extra energy, making Chromax's energy at 95. Tartarex is in here with Bronze Flight to defend. Your Hikeda and your Nadrin Fluidmorpher's Foe. That's why he's equipped with a Bronze Flight. He's more of a sacrificial creature than anything. Hikeda is in here for the heal. You sacrifice the Mepedian Balladeer's Flute to have him have 4 counters, and that'll have 30 heal, and then 20 heal, and then 10 heal. And he's in here for his healing. And Nadrin Fluidmorpher's Foe is in here to cast a lot of your music.
So I didn't really talk about Ursis and the Dagger. The Bodil's Dagger lets you deal additional 10 damage on non-elemental or stat attacks. So things like Heptagon Hail, Reverberate, Aftermath Feint, those are all not stat or element attacks, so they are going to deal additional 10 damage. So for Heptagon Hail, that would deal, instead its base is 35 damage, so it would deal additional 10, which would make its damage base be 45 damage. So that's a little bit of explanation there. That's why I chose it. It's because of Heptagon Hail, essentially, is why I put the dagger on. But before we get to attacks, let's go straight into music.
2 Rhymes of the Reckless. Very annoying music, one of my favorites, actually, that have been made. So 2 Rhymes of the Reckless. Both should be cast by Nadrin Fluidmorpher's Foe or Tartarex. You want to try to keep your counters on Hikeda for his ability. 2 Refrains of Denial. Now, with Mepedian Balladeer's Flute, when your opponent puts a counter on a creature, Nadrin should gain a counter, so that means he's going to have 4 counters. So that's why you can run both refrains, both of these refrains right here, off of Nadrin. And you can run both Rhymes of the Reckless off of Tartarex. Your last 2 musics are Nourishing Nocturne, which allows you to sacrifice a minion creature, and in this deck it's Tartarex. Sacrifice a minion creature, and your engaged creature gains energy equal to its scanned energy. So if I was to sacrifice this Tartarex, my engaged creature would gain 65 energy, which is right there. And then they go to the discard. Once they're in the discard, this music is to be cast by an Ursis too. So once they go to the discard, you can use Psionic Serenade to remove that minion creature from the game, and then reduce the opposing engaged creature's energy by the scanned energy of the creature that you're removing. So if I were removing Tartarex, I would remove 65 energy from my opponent's energy. 65 energy from my opponent's energy. So very handy, and this is to be cast by an Ursis as well.
Okay, So something I didn't mention was that if you gain any counters, or you have the opportunity to put any extra counters on any creatures, you want to put them on your Karaba for extra heal. You don't have to use the Tartar XI in this deck. There's a couple creatures. I'm going to try to do this. I've never done this before, but I'm going to try to put a video up in one of the corners. It'll show you a couple creatures right now. Those creatures are Umquad, who's a Danian and a minion for the same ideas. He's a lot easier to get. There's Epitrine, who is a Mepetian, and he can't be dealt damage by music, so that's very beneficial for you. You could also use a Stelgar. Stelgar has high energy. It's like a 70. It's not difficult to get a 70 energy Stelgar, so he's quite helpful in the deck as well. And then probably the best creature to put into this deck, Kato. But anyways, let's go on to attacks.
Because it's a Bodil's Dagger deck, you're going to see a lot of attacks that aren't stat or elements. So 2 Aftermath Feint, they should do 10. Reverberate, one should do 10 and one should do 20. They've played with Bodil's Dagger. Cycle Drain. Reckless Reproach for going up against Warbeast decks. 2 Power Punch. Muge's Edge. Both Ursis are Muges, so Ursus is a Muge, if you can see that right there, it says he's a Muge. So he should deal 10 damage with this attack, and with Bodil's Dagger, because it's not a stat attack, or an element attack, it should deal 20 damage. Flash Kick, 2 of them to rearrange your locations, and for 5 damage plus 10 is 15. Same with Squeeze Play, 2 of these to rearrange your attack deck. A Gear Grind for those annoying Stone Mails or Crawl Husk Armors, very helpful. 2 Zeocentric Wraths for up to 30 damage with your daggers. Retaliatory Strike, an awesome attack card, can be put into almost any deck, I think. And then 2 Heptagon Hails. With the dagger, they'll deal 45 damage for 4 build points. That's pretty sweet. And your Nadrin will gain counters when your opponent gains counters.
That was the attack deck. Pretty straightforward, very straightforward attack deck for a dagger deck. If you have any questions, just post a comment. And yeah, let's go straight to the locations.
So 2 Roposock Chime Grids. For counter gain, you want to put your counters on Karaba so that he has more heal. Newman Voidland to take away your opponent's elements. Isaiah Mind Scrying Chamber makes all elements go away. Very handy, considering you're not running elements in your attack deck, so might as well take your opponents away. Vidav's Reflectorium for a little bit of cycle in your attack deck. The new Gigantopolis, or the past location of Gigantopolis, which is the chamber of the Orkalon, or I don't know. So the new Gigantopolis, or the past Gigantopolis, which has the ability to give your battle gear untargetable, meaning that your daggers, or your bronze flight, or anything can't be targeted and destroyed by your opponent. Very handy. Bodil's Arsenal, to either bring back your Mepetian Baldier's Flute, or to bring back a destroyed Bodil's Dagger. The Darkened Dunes, to give your frontline creatures range and swift, so you can attack your opponent's supporting creatures. And because your main fighters are past, Kira Village, and past creatures gain additional 10 energy, so quite a bit of energy.
How about I end your video? The video's over, go home!
Okay, so that was the video of my Ursis Dagger deck. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comment on the video and I'll try to answer, or somebody will answer you, I'm sure. I'm going to post a link. I've done videos for a while. I've done quite a few videos actually, and they're over on another site. I'm going to post the link. It's at chaotictv.com. So yeah, check out my other videos if you want. And remember, Hail KOR.